Welcome back, tippers, for this NRL Final Week 1 round. Big shout out to the tippers who have commented your teams. For the last week's round, it was a devastated loss to the teams that we have expected them to win, but unfortunately, we have tipped 4 out 8 correct. Moving forward, here is the NRL Final Series of top 8 teams. This week is the Week 1 postseason. Broncos vs Storms. 8 days on from meeting in the final round of the regular season, the Broncos and Storm clash again for the right secure direct qualification to the preliminary final. While the Storm got up for a 32-22 victory last Thursday at Suncorp Stadium, for a win which lifted them past the Warriors into third spot, that can't be used too much as a yardstick given both sides will look vastly different as they welcome back the stars they opted to rest in round 27. The game will be Brisbane's first finals appearance since 2018, while for the Storm it's a case of business as usual as they prepare to play in the postseason for the 13th year in a row and do so as a top 4 side for the 7th time in the past 8 seasons. While it's remained a good rivalry throughout, since 2017 games between these two clubs have been one-way traffic with the Storm winning 14 on the trot against Brisbane. The Broncos will also get little comfort from being at home this week, with 14 years having now passed since their last win over the Storm at Suncorp Stadium. Melbourne meanwhile have enjoyed wins at the venue in 4 of their past 7 visits. Despite the loss from the last week's meeting, I'm still going to tip the Broncos to win this game. Panthers vs Warriors. Kenny Sorensen return, SJ ruled out. With their third minor premiership in 4 years secured, the Panthers get down to the business of becoming the first team since Parramatta in 1981, 82 and 83 to win 3 titles in a row. The Panthers could scarcely have been more impressive in their round 27 demolition of the Cowboys, and they head into the finals series brimming with confidence and self-belief. The absence of 5/8 Jerome Luai had the potential to throw the Premiers off kilter, but as they have done for the past 4 seasons, they seamlessly slotted in a replacement player in Jack Cogger and barely skipped a beat. In stark contrast, the Warriors rested a host of stars and were outplayed by the Dolphins at Suncorp Stadium, halting the momentum they had built up in a 7-game winning streak. Playing their first finals match in 5 years, the Warriors will fancy their chances of an upset with all their big guns back on deck, but they have to reverse a worrying trend that has seen them lose their last 7 games against Penrith. With the weight of history in a boisterous Bluebet Stadium against them, Andrew Webster's men will need dig deep if they are to throw the Panthers' juggernaut off the rails. A week off and another chance to rest weary bodies awaits the winner of a fascinating contest that will reveal much about the premiership aspirations of the two combatants. I'm going to tip Panthers to win this round. Sharks vs Roosters. Kennedy races clock. Manu firms to play. After earning a ticket to the postseason with a win in round 27, the Roosters will look to extend their unbeaten run to 6 against the Sharks in a sudden death clash. The Tricolours simultaneously kept their own season alive and ended the premiership hopes of arch rivals the Rabbitohs last week with a 26-12 win, and heading into finals week 1 only the Knights are riding a better run of form than Trent Robinson's men. Cronulla too have enjoyed a strong final month to the regular season, winning 4 of their last 6, and will be battle-hardened after emerging 24-6 winners over the Raiders in a match which for the opening hour had the intensity of finals football. With victory last week, the Sharks earned the right to play at PointsBet Stadium, where they have won 6 of 10 this season, although the Roosters have good recent memories, their two having won in 4 of their past 5 visits. When they met in round 7 this year, it was the Sharks who came away with a 22-12 home win, which was Cronulla's first win over the Roosters since July 2017. I'm going to tip the Roosters. Knights vs Raiders. Big 3 on track. Schiller in for Chris. The Knights are the hottest team in the NRL heading into the finals and will go in as overwhelming favorites to make it 10 wins in a row against the Raiders. Sitting 14th after round 17, the Knights looked out of sorts and out of contention, but they have peeled off 9 straight to earn a home final and a crack at a first premiership in 22 years. The Raiders, meanwhile, lost 3 of their last 4 games to hobble into the finals with a points differential of -137, the 4th worst in the NRL ahead of only the Bulldogs, Dragons and West's Tigers. With forward leaders Josh Papali'i and Corey Horsburgh both unavailable, the Raiders will have to produce one of their bravest efforts in recent memory to overcome the informed Knights and their passionate fans. As they showed in 2019 when they downed the Storm at Amy Park in Week 1 of the finals on their way to the decider, the Green Machine are never to be taken lightly when their backs are against the wall, and coach Ricky Stewart will have them primed for an ambush. The last time the Knights played a home final was 2006, when Andrew Johns and Danny Buderus led them to a 25-18 win over Manly, and the Newcastle faithful will be hoping Callan Ponga can orchestrate another famous victory to keep the dream alive for another week. I'm going to tip the Knights to win this game. Recap of my tips for this week's final Week 1. 1. Broncos. 2. Panthers. 3. Roosters. 4. Knights. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment your team.